season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he will be brought out here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Here come the Cardinals, and it is Kyler Murray from Oklahoma who leads them out.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
Throwing on first down is Murray.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. Murray's throw here into the hands of Moore.
And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line.
So I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. The numbers on the ground for Henry last week. 14 carries, 62 yards, and a touchdown.
11 touchdowns on the ground this season, and the pride really extends throughout the entire offense. And in this case, I'm focusing on the offensive line. The leverage, the ability to get downfield, make that extra block in order to give him more space to run. They really look forward to him carrying the football because they're going to get him to the end zone.
Finding his way down to about the 35-yard line.
2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down. Well, this defense for the Giants, they played extremely well last week in that win over Green Bay.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
They'll try to run for the first with Henry. Henry fighting for the marker, but I don't think he got there. He did not. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to 4th down. Remember, that was less than a yard. That was not a full yard. That defense, they were having none of it.
Yeah, the surge the offensive line was seeking actually occurred on the other side of the ball. They reestablished the line of scrimmage and stuffed them.
Murray sets to throw on 4th. This is caught. It's Kirk. Touchdown, Cardinals. Christian Kirk hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Cardinals have taken the early lead. Extra point by Butker is on target.
And it's now a 7-0 game.
That time a 6-play drive. And the Cardinals cap it with a touchdown. This is going to be returned from middle of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
And he just continues to throw touchdown pass after touchdown pass, leading the league here down the final stretch of the year. Guys will say that the numbers and rankings, they don't matter to him very much. But I don't know how much I actually believe that. Sure, he's team first, but I think everyone would like to see him finish #1, including himself.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. They'll contain him to just 4, 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
The numbers for him from a week ago: 8 carries, 59 yards.
Well, we know they've clinched a playoff spot, but there's plenty of football left to play, and I'm a proponent of continuing to do what you've done throughout the season, especially with teams that are heavy run teams, because if you throttle back too early, you lose the rhythm of the run game, not just with the runner, but with the offensive line as well.
Second down, here's Barkley again. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. They've got his man complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Kadarius Toney, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Giants are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Point after, right down the middle. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This is taken just shy of the 10. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. So the Cardinals offense back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball.
Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. Quiddy Pay able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. These two teams all tied after one. Giant football, and we're ready to begin the second quarter as they've got it facing a 2nd and long situation.
He'll look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
He'll air this one out deep for Davis.
And that is incomplete.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
And that is no good. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. That catch good for only a couple. Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-body tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first. Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back.
And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10.
What a dimension this man brings to this defense. He had his mind set there that he was going to get in and make that tackle. He really flew to the football.
Murray now on 1st down. He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. A nice display of power, but it only takes him to the 7. He's dropped there. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Derrick Henry with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Cardinals have taken the lead. A solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there. Each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Extra point by Butker is on target.
And that makes the score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
Taking it about the 1. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, This is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They are guarding against the upset.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. On second down, here's Barkley. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
Back to throw now on first down. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. A good pickup there on first as the screen pass gets him 8.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Flushed out right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That'll bring up 4th. They had the 8-yard gain on first down, but unable to do much from there.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
They'll try and throw for it here. The throw for Tony is intercepted. Picked off by Byron Murphy. And the Cardinals are going to have a short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. So the interception there. And, Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched a playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football because turnovers in that situation, they really become magnified.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand and it's incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap. He locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on 4th. They're going for it. It's Murray. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Cardinals unable to convert there on 4th down. And it'll be a turnover on downs. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that is caught. It's Davis. And they do finally get him, but he makes it all the way to the 6. It's a big-time play there for the G-men.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. No gain there on the completion. It'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
And for the second time tonight, his field goal unit comes out here. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick here is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So the margin shrinks there as they get the field goal to draw them a bit closer here in this second quarter.
Yeah, nice snap, nice hold. They just want to keep this game close, so give them credit for finishing that one off with 3.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Now Kyler Murray ready to get back under center. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that would tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, they said he's looked pretty good to this point. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL.
We now proceed to the start of the second half.
Both teams finishing up their halftime adjustments. We're about ready to get back to football at State Farm Stadium. And for the call, let's head back out to Glendale and hand it over to Brandon God.
Okay, Coach, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. The Cards with the lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started.
Let's go.
The Giants about set to go to begin this third quarter. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
Second half begins with a run from Barkley. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And he will take this all the way down to the Cardinals' 29-yard line. 47 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. Boy, Saquon Barkley, nothing short of electrifying with a football in his hands, and he showed off one of his biggest attributes on that one, and that is his speed.
And there's an old chestnut of an expression called getting on your horse. And I hate to use it, but I'm going to right here because it absolutely applies. How about the head of steam he had behind him? And he was absolutely galloping downfield. That was something to see.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, this is Collins. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw.
That's complete to Tony.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Here we go. Here we go.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They've moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively. But they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. On the draw, this is Barkley. He's down inside the 10 to the 8, and it comes on a gain of 8.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Running again with Barkley on 2nd down. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. He could muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. And his kick is indeed good. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the 2nd half. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. He'll start with a give to Henry. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down. Now Murray. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Freeman. And Freeman lost the football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. So turnovers, Charles, you figure will be key in the 2nd half, and that's a big giveaway there.
Yeah, and as you and I both know, coaches are always preaching ball security, and none more often than right here in the 2nd half of a tight football game. Now you've got to believe what the coaches are saying and take care of that football.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
All right, partner, I wasn't good enough to get this done, but I played with plenty of guys who did. When they spotted wide receiver screen and they got to the football fast and blew the whole thing up, the same result as we just saw usually happened. No gain.
On 2nd down now, Barkley. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
Now back to throw. Eluding the pressure right. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
So that a second drive inning and a field goal now here in the 3rd.
Yeah, the first one got them closer, and this one gets them to lead, but I don't think they should fall in love with kicking field goals. They're going to need to put the ball in the end zone if they want to finish off this game with a win.
And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Arizona's offense back out and ready to go. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because it didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. The Cardinals on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 9. Throwing now is Murray. On the screen, this is Edmonds. And he will get him down a couple yards shy of the 1st down marker. A nice tackle coming up from his free safety spot. Here comes the Cardinals punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. .37 yards on the punt with no return. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. They'll try and start this drive in the air. That'll be caught. It's Tony. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big connection on that one. 37 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver. And as this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Being chased out left. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They go play action here on first down. And his throw is incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
They'll set up a throw. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Quiddy Pay able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening.
Well, enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
The Giants on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and a mile. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he is finally out of bounds, just shy of the 5, all the way down at the 6. It's a big play for the Giants on 3rd down.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
They'll drop to throw. That's to Davis. He's got it. Touchdown, New York. A great play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Giants add on to their lead. Extra point splits the uprights. And that makes this a 9-point game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit. Throwing on first down is Murray. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch. Is the arm there, the leg's still there? This has been a tough game. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. To the right side, and he's got more complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
Meanwhile, Murray's throw here into the hands of Moore. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big play that time on the catch and run. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
First down, Murray. And completes it to Kirk over the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff to Henry. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
Watch the twist, watch the twist.
So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. To throw is Murray. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And the Cardinals are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1. Murray to throw. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. Now Murray. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They had the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
And this is going to be covered up by the Giants. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that one. They needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their 2nd, as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Man open, it's Tony. He's got it. The Cardinals forced to burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 55 seconds remaining in the football game. That one looks like he'll throw here. And bringing it in, it's Davis. And the Giants are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. It's 1st and goal and a late touchdown at this stage. Could officially salt this one away. And he's across for the late touchdown. And in the final seconds, that one should just about put a capper on this game. Now the extra point. And that makes it a 9-point game. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Back to throw, Murray. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for the Giants, it's another win for them. And you wonder if they want a redo on that one loss as they sit now at 14-1. And they will head home next week to take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for Arizona, it's another loss as they now fall to 4-11. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to L.A. to take on the Rams.